All right, bows and bow ties. So, look, before I get into it, I want you to take a good look at me because, see, I don't come on here contrived and all done up. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But this is like my real life right now, right? Oh, this is like moving a lot. This is on my lap here. I'm too lazy to go to the office or to the counter. This is what happens when you're supporting your kids. I want you to look at how I look like. Look at this. Look at my hair. I look like the lion from The Wizard of Oz, or I don't know, maybe one of the Wicked Witches. Like, anyway, so let me get right into it. So, look, the title of this is called I'm Educating My Black Son. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm the Black Opinionated Woman, also known as Bo. I got to change the background to this because my YouTube handle is now I am a bull always. So I need to go ahead and get that fixed. But yeah, so look, I'm going to throw up this thumbnail for a second. So you see that background, there is like a circuit board type deal. It says electrical engineering on there. There's a picture of me. And by the way, I need to wear my hair like that more often. I don't know. I'm kind of liking that. I might need to go get some big curls in my hair. Maybe I'll do that this week. But anyway, I chose this thumbnail, this circuit board with the words electrical engineering on it. Why did I do that? So my son is a senior in high school, and he's getting ready to go to college. He's already received um, one his first acceptance into one of the schools. We're still waiting on a few others. Um, where do I want to go with this? So, you know, I have been pushing a lot with Black women, Black women, Black women, but I wanted to take this time out to say, in order for young ladies like my daughter to have men to choose from, we also have to raise good products. So I am a mother of three young men, three boys, and I just want to say that we pour a lot into our boys too. Okay. So the significance of this thumbnail, oh, my leg is itchy. I hate to do this. Is going to change this angle for a second. All right. The significance of this thumbnail is he's going to go in as an engineer, probably electrical engineering. I think he on that particular application said electrical engineering. And it's not because he loves it, but he kind of does, right? He's in an engineering program. Um, he's had to take engineering design and electrical engineering and circuits and stuff like that. So he halfway liked it. I do have a point to this. But one of the things that oh, I should have saved that one of those old thumbnails I've had, which is with my son, or with any of my children, I do not believe in going into college undecided. I say that again. Now, this is probably, I won't say this is like a huge controversy. My job is to raise and educate my son. I do not believe in being undecided, period. It doesn't mean you can't change your path. I believe that when you go to school, or whatever it is, you have a path. You need to choose a path. You can change paths. But if you're just out here all willy nilly, no path, then any road you're on will take you to anywhere. You're automatically successful, right? Because what happens is there's no path, there's no purpose, there's no goal, right? So I am not a fan of children going to college with no major decided. That doesn't mean they have to stay that major. But what we're not going to do is sit here and waste all of my 3 nickels just taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then when you eventually get yourself together, you're like, oh, I think I want to do this now. And now a whole bunch of money has been wasted. You pick a path. And while you're on that path, you'll know if you want to like get off of that path or not. But we're not going to waste time and waste money. I do believe in picking majors and such where you can be fully self-supporting. And that's not to say that other majors or whatever aren't going to be useful. I just feel like you need to. Oh man, what is going on? I'm sitting here watching the score line, this football game. I just believe that You need to be able to have a path. Now, I just want to say when it comes to my children, especially like my boys, because I go in so much on Black women need to take care of themselves, I'll also need to raise my boys to be of good character, to have a purpose, um, to follow dreams, et cetera, to plan, especially since with Black men being in the demographic that is performing the worst in terms of obtaining higher levels of education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there are those of you who are going to probably want to come for me and be like, "Oh, but why do they have to go to college? Why would we not promote college?" Yes, I am aware that not everyone is going to attend college. But I find it so intellectually ridiculous that we're now at the point where we're like, oh, not everybody's college. I'm like, how do you know they're not? Why are we afraid to promote higher levels of education? There's so many reasons why I promote it. Does it mean that you can't have a successful, productive life without it? No. I want to make that clear. I do think there are multiple forms of education. There's certifications, reading, obviously formal education, etc. But I just find it to be like the most ridiculous argument that this community that I am part of, that as much as I want to punt it sometimes I want to punt because like they're doing too much. But why would you not want to why would you push against your children obtaining education? That is the most ridiculous thing. So, my job is to lead my children to the water. Whether they accept or not, that's separate, right? Like I told my son, I said, look, just because you're going in decided doesn't mean you have to remain in this major. But what you will do is you're going to go in with a plan. And in the process, you're going to figure out the things that you like or don't like. So when he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to be, I'm like, well, look, you're already doing engineering stuff. So it's so much easier for you to actually get into a college, especially since there's very few people who look like you who are in electrical engineering. We looked up some modest stats during his application process, and I think only 4.3% of all electrical engineers are Black. I'm like, you're in an engineering program, you're doing pretty decent. You have recommendations that are easy to obtain. Why not use your resources to your advantage? This is the kind of stuff that we don't teach our kids enough. So you use that as leverage. And then once you figure out, you can always jump off from there. I mean, he's like, I don't know if I want to do electrical or mechanical. But I'm like, but what you do is pick something. Hold on, I gotta tell my kids to be quiet for one moment. Okay, I'm back. So, if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, by the way, I have on like 3 or 4 layers. It was so cold out today, so we had to be outside for these games. So hence the situation. Anyway, so I like for my children to understand that I am not saying you are defined by your education, but your education opens doors. That doesn't mean no, you can't open doors other ways, but this definitely opens doors. This is an opportunity for you to go to an institution where you're going to have a collection of individuals arrive, and there's going to be a synergistic effect on your learning. You're going to meet people who are wealthy, people who come from austere environments. You're going to meet people who are come from blue collar environments, white collar environments. You're going to find people who are just like great thinkers, people who are great doers. You're going to find people who are creative. You're going to find so many people there. But the biggest thing is give yourself a chance and an opportunity. Oftentimes, people will say things like, well, you don't have to go to school to have a great life. And I'm like, nobody is saying that. That shouldn't even be an arguing point. But the data also shows those who have obtained higher level education. I can't remember if it's a multiplier of 10 or 12. I forgot what it was, but they make significantly more than people who don't. And the fact of the matter is, in this community that we are part of, that I am part of, we have a money problem. My job, like I tell people, is I have to educate all my children. I have to raise my children. That includes my boys. So, although I've been really hyper focused on Black women because I am a Black woman, I am outnumbered by men in this house. It's just me, my daughter, and my diva cat compared to my three sons and my husband, right? I always work with my daughter. I'm like, look, you can still be feminine and athletic and all these other things, but you have to you have to be able to be fully self supporting. You don't want to have to be reliant on someone. And then you get to the point where you start making poor choices. For example, my husband supports me. I don't have to rely on him. Should he decide to dummy up? Well, I'm a highly educated person. I could function on my own. Now, we function as a team, we are a unit. That's what I want for my daughter. That's what I want for my sons. I want them to understand that there's honor in providing and loving and supporting and laughing with your family and being silly and everything like that and being faithful. There's honor in that. I'm not expecting perfection because we all fall short, but I just wanted to make sure people understood that I am also educating and raising my sons. And so that thumbnail that I'm going to put back up, let me find that thumbnail. Look, he is going in. I gotta tell my kids to stop yelling. This thumbnail is very important to me. Not the thumbnail itself, but what it represents. He's going and decided he's actually going to go to school. He needs to seek education. Hopefully, he remains in college, right? He knows that, look, you either go to college or you go into the military or you got to get out. Like, we're not taking care of, adults. You don't get to turn the key in my door and do nothing. Well, I have to do something. We don't really use keys anymore, but you get the point. Um, there is a requirement. There is a requirement. As a woman, I can't talk about Black women doing all these great things, but then I don't pour the same energy into my sons. I don't want to leash on, like, I don't want to send them out into the world as and they are not productive and supportive and all these things. I don't. I'm not interested in doing that. So on the one hand, I can't tell my daughter you need to do all these things, but then I don't have these requirements for my sons. So while one is almost out the door, I have one in middle school that we have been leaning in on. We're like, look, you need to get yourself together, get your life all the way together. It's important to me. So look, all right. Let me go ahead and get on out of here. This is a really good time for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. The significance of the subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up because I'm amazing in every way and I can do no wrong is it really does let the algorithm know, like, you know what, there's been interaction with this. This sounds like something that people want to hear. We need to go ahead and push this out to other people and make it so that they see that in their feed. All right. I may be coming back on for another video shortly because I have a whole lot to say. Later.